Hello friends, welcome to LeggLife. We've made a lot of Disney cruise videos. Yeah. We've given a lot of tips, we've shared a lot of our experiences, but even though we've been on 6 Disney cruises, I feel like every time we get off the ship, we always have one thing that we say.
Ah, we never did.
Dang it, I can't believe we didn't. Like, even though we fit so much into our Disney cruise vacations, even though we've done it so many times, there are still things we get off the ship and we're like, I wish we would have done that.
Every time.
Every time. So this cruise that we're going on next month, we're going to try to be a little bit of proactive.
Yeah.
And we have made a list saying these are the things that we want to remember to not forget.
Correct.
That's what we're talking about today.
So this isn't necessarily a list of things that we have never done before. It's some things that we have done and some that we haven't, but like every time it's always a goal to do all of these things, and some of them we've just never done.
I know, and it's crazy. And these are, there's some food stuff in here, there's some ship stuff in here, there's some experience stuff in here.
Yeah.
And that's one of the problems with the Disney cruise, is that there's just so much to freaking do.
There's so much to do.
And especially on like a 7-day cruise, you think, it's like, oh, well, I'll be able to do the things that I want to do. And then you get off the ship and it's like, how did I not? It just happens.
Fill in the blank.
It just happens. And so that's what we're talking about in this video.
We made a list.
We made a list of a few things. And the first thing that we want to remember to not forget, we actually learned from our friends Justin and Lacey Zachman.
Yes.
And I'm actually wearing my Justin Zachman hat. And the reason I call it my Justin Zachman hat is that he and I both have the exact same hat. Yeah. And he wears it in some of his videos. And so I'm just like, you know what? Since the first tip we're sharing is one we learned from them, I want to wear my Justin Zachman hat.
Perfect.
It's perfect. And that is the cake of the day.
Yeah.
So the cake of the day is something that is not on any of the menus at the room service. This is a room service thing.
Yes.
You can call up from your room and say, hi, what's your cake of the day? They have a special cake every day. And don't they have like a pie of the day as well or something else?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
But I know they have a cake of the day.
Yeah.
And we've done it a couple times.
Yeah. And sometimes it's like a coconut something and I don't like coconut, so like I'll pass.
I won't pass on a coconut.
He won't pass on that, but like they always tell you what it is.
Yeah.
And so I think that's something that we want to do more. I think we've only done it once or twice.
Once or twice, yeah. And I always love it. So calling room service, being like, all right, what's your cake of the day? What's that? It's an Oreo cheesecake? Yeah, I think I'll have one of those. So cake of the day, we're gonna try to remember to not forget on this cruise.
Correct. The next one kind of goes along with that. It's just room service. I feel like every time we're like, we're gonna have at least one meal where we're just in the room and like chilling and hanging out, and then we don't. We have ordered room service before, but I feel like it's usually like a mid-afternoon, like we're just kind of hungry, we want some like chicken tenders.
Totally.
Or like a late night kind of thing.
Completely. And it's so hard because there's so much food everywhere you go.
And good food.
And so it's hard to ever be like, you know what? I'm gonna go to the room and order food. And I'm like, yeah, but I could sit here and eat a burger or chicken tenders. And so it's really difficult for us to remember room service when you're surrounded by food everywhere else.
Yes, but I think that it's always fun, like when we're in the room. That's one of the things we like to do when we're actually in hotels too, is just order room service. And so I think it's just fun to like chill in your room a little bit.
Completely. So we're going to remember this trip, fingers crossed, hopefully, at least one meal room service. The next one is one I remembered a few days after our last cruise. You guys remember the last cruise we went on was a 7-night cruise. It was our longest cruise we've done yet.
Yeah.
And I was thinking back after we got off the ship, and I was like, I never saw a sunset.
Right. Now I am not a morning person, and so sunrises are not super important for me because wow, that's early. He's gotten up for a couple.
Yeah.
But sunsets, I feel like, are always kind of during something else going on the ship. And so we really don't see a lot of sunsets. But when we kind of catch them, we're always just like, oh my gosh.
Because normally we do second dining, which is like 8:15. Is that right? And so the show we see is normally around, I don't know, 6 or something like that, 5:30 or 6. And so sunset time, we're normally in a show or at dinner.
Right.
And so we're normally like busy doing something. And I remember getting off the 7-night cruise thinking, I never saw a sunset at sea. And I love seeing sunsets at sea.
Me too, actually. It's so pretty. It's so like peaceful.
It is peaceful. And so that's one of the things that we've normally just been so busy that you forget that you miss it.
Right.
Until it's like, oh yeah, I never saw a sunset when I was out there.
Things to do.
Completely. So this time, a sunset at sea is hopefully, fingers crossed, gonna happen. I will say for us, watching a sunset at sea together is 1,000,000 times more likely than both of us watching a sunrise at sea. I loved watching on the last cruise. I got up, if you guys remember from the vlogs, and I went and watched the sunrise. You watched the vlog, so you kind of saw it. When we pulled into Puerto Rico that morning, it was so beautiful. Like, it was a highlight for me.
It's just so early.
So I would like to do a sunrise, but for both of us, I think a sunset is one that we forget to do.
Yeah.
But we want to remember to not forget.
This next one is actually something that he has done much more often than I have. I think, I was trying to remember. So this is a movie in the Buena Vista Theater.
Yep.
I think I saw Infinity War.
Yep, we did.
There, and I don't think I've seen another movie there.
No.
You've gone to some of like the late night ones.
Yeah,
but I'm usually in bed.
Yeah, so Sherri goes to bed and I'm not tired, and so there's not a ton to do on Disney ships past a certain hour, but there are some late night movies, and so I'll normally go watch a late night movie by myself. I love that. But it just feels like, because the movies are free and a lot of them are first run movies.
Right, yeah.
And so there's the new, on our cruise, there's the new Marvel movie we haven't seen yet. What is it, Shang-Chi?
Oh.
That one? Is that what it's called? It's something like that.
Something like that.
That's going to be on the ship. We should go see that.
We should, yeah.
And so, I mean, it's free. Don't gotta pay to go to the theater.
Right.
But again, this is where it gets so hard, because there's always so much to do on the ship that it's like, I gotta
really
give up 2 hours.
Like, in a theater.
I can do that at home.
Right.
I can't do an animation class or a mixology class or a whatever. And so it's just so crazy, because there really is just so much to do that it's so hard to fit everything in.
Yeah.
But movies in the theater are one thing that I really would like to try to do more often.
Yes, I think so.
Plus, popcorn.
Well, sure.
I mean, you gotta pay extra for popcorn, and I don't care.
Yeah.
Popcorn is always worth whatever they charge.
Sure.
Right? The next one I've done a few times, and it's always one of my highlights.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of great places to sit back and rest and relax on a Disney ship. There's the entire pool deck that's wonderful. But there's something to me about falling asleep in those lounge chairs on deck 4. You're sitting there, you're facing the ocean, you're watching it go by, and then you're snoring and drooling. Right? It's one of my favorite things to do. And every time I do that on a cruise, and I just like doze off and I wake up, and it's just like the ocean, I think to myself, this is a highlight. This is a highlight. And so I want to give myself like space to do that.
Yeah.
To like fall asleep, take a nap on those deck 4 chairs, and just rest.
Yeah.
What about you? Where's your favorite? Do you have like a napping or sleeping place?
I'm not really a napper.
Yeah, so you're out reading a book like in the adult only pool area.
Yeah.
You don't normally fall asleep?
No, I never have.
I almost always do.
Just because there's things going on, there's people around, there's noises, it's light.
Oh.
I can't sleep with any light or any noise.
Makes sense.
So I just can't really focus. And I feel like I've tried reading on deck 4 before, and there's always people going by.
Yeah.
And so it's harder for me to like focus on reading. And so for me, deck 4 is like a place just to like sit and relax. But it's not a reading place, it's not a sleeping place.
It is definitely a sleeping place for me. If you like, the 2 places I sleep on the ship are like my stateroom and deck 4. So just so you know.
Perfect.
If you're on the cruise with us and you see me sleeping, just let me sleep. Like, don't wake me up. Just like walk on by. Don't poke me or anything. Let me nap.
Yeah. This next one, if napping on deck 4 is your unique gift, this is probably mine.
Probably true.
Having a drink in every bar.
I love this one so much. You guys, this is something we have talked about doing on every cruise we've gone on.
And here's the thing, we've never done it.
No.
Never like specifically like I'm going to this bar for a drink. Like we've gone to all of the bars.
Yes.
And I feel like there's certain bars we go to a lot. But I don't think that we've ever like specifically gone to eat every bar on the ship.
Okay, question. Is this the kind of thing that we want to do in one day? Is this like a day? Like, all right, today it's an at-sea day. Every bar, drink at every bar.
I mean, maybe.
Wow. That sounds spectacular.
Goals.
I'm going to be honest. Goals, without a doubt.
I think it needs to happen.
I love it. I love it so much. This to me is one of those things that I feel like every cruise we are like, okay, this is the one we're going to do it.
I know. Every single time we're like, we're going to have a drink in every bar, and we never have.
We never have.
And it's dumb.
It is dumb.
It needs to happen.
This cruise, we're put it in stone. Or on YouTube.
Or on the phone.
Or on the phone. Putting it on the phone in stone. They rhyme. Well, similar.
All right.
A drink in every bar on the Disney Wonder.
Yes.
So if you want to meet us, check the bars.
We're probably there.
Or deck 4. The bars or deck 4. We're either sleeping or drinking.
Correct. Or both.
Honestly, it kind of sounds like us. Now the next one is me. We're kind of ping-ponging back and forth.
Sure.
I'm a huge nerd.
What?
Are you shocked?
No.
I'm a huge nerd. I like to know the most random and obscure details. I like to know all of the knowledge. Like, weird fun facts make me so happy.
Like random trivia.
Random trivia is my favorite. Yeah. And on Disney Cruise Line, they do these walking ship tours. Now, I don't know if they're doing them right now with COVID.
Right.
However, they do these like ship tours where you like walk around with a cast member, with a crew, and they tell you, here's why the carpet looks like this. Here's why this. Here's just like random fun facts. Mm-hmm. I've always wanted to do it. In fact, one time I showed up, and I'll tell that story in a minute, to do it. But there's other times that like I've seen the tour going by, and I will just like follow closely for a minute. Like, what'd you say about that chandelier? You know what I mean? So let me tell the story about when I actually did show up.
Yeah.
So I showed up for a ship tour, and I was so excited because Sherri was sleeping in.
Yeah.
And I was like,
it was like an early morning.
It was an early morning one. I got up early. I went to Cabanas. I had my coffee. It was great. Sherri was sleeping. I was out and about, and I was gonna go learn about the ship. Yes. I get there, and it's me, and it's the crew who's like leading it, the one person, and I'm waiting. I'm like, ooh, I wonder who's gonna go on this tour with us. And literally nobody else showed up. And so the crew member, she was very wonderful, but she was like, so we have a couple options here. I'm like, all right. She was like, we could do the tour, just the two of us, private tour. She's like, or you could come back and do one when there's like a larger group. And I got the impression that, first of all, let me say this. Disney crew works so freaking hard.
All of the time.
All of the time, nonstop. The hours, the contracts, as long as they put in. And for me, this might sound weird, but I was like, if I don't do this tour, maybe she gets like a little break. You know what I mean? Maybe she gets like a little tiny breath.
The time that she was going to be doing the tour, can she go catch a nap?
Something, like something. And so there was no way I was going to be like, yup, take me on a private tour, when I felt like I could give her a gift of like one less thing to do in her day.
Right.
Than like meander this yahoo around a ship asking dumb questions. Tell me more about the carpet, lady. Like, no, she needed to have a break in her day, not dealing with me. And so I was like, oh, I'll come back. I never went back.
You never went back.
I never went back.
And here's the thing. I would actually do that tour with you. I just don't want to go early in the morning.
Okay, so apparently we need to find a afternoon or evening tour.
Yeah.
We probably should not do this tour after we do the drink in every...
It might be a lot more fun.
It would not be more fun. We wouldn't remember a thing and we'd fall down the stairs.
Well...
Bad news. So, on this cruise, fingers crossed, or soon, I want to do the ship tour so bad.
Yeah, I do too, actually.
Hopefully it happens.
Yeah. We're going to end this video with the thing that we want to remember to end our days with.
We've shared this in past videos.
We've done this a couple of times.
We've done this a couple of times, and it is such a great way to end a day. Because every day aboard Disney, at least for the most part, it just feels so magical. And so you get to the end of the day, and it's just like, what a great day. How could this day get any better? And then...
Let us tell you.
At room service, this goes back to the room service thing, you can actually call up and order warm chocolate chip cookies with a glass of milk.
Sure can.
They will bring you to your room a plate of warm cookies and a glass of milk.
Yeah.
It's so nice.
So fun to like end your day like that. Like, it's a super sweet way to end your day. It's like, hello. But they're so good. Like, they're warm.
You meant like sweet. I was like, it is a sweet way to end your day. But you meant like actually like sweet.
Sugar.
Like sugar. I did not take it that way. I was like, you're right. It is a sweet way to end your day.
Oh, goodness. But they're warm chocolate chip cookies. They're so good. And like your little glass of milk.
It's the best.
It's just the best.
It's so nice.
It's the best way to end your day.
But one of the problems is that sometimes we're so tired because of, well, a couple things. Either you go to bed kind of early and I go out and watch movies, and then like I come back at 1 a.m. and I'm not gonna be like, hey, can I get those cookies? Just don't wake my wife. You know what I mean? How mad would you be if you're sleeping, it's 2 a.m. and there's a cookies? Yes.
I mean, I might wake up for the cookies.
There you go. So, on this cruise, cake of the day, room service, cookies, we're doing it all, Sherri.
Yes, we are.
Drinks of the day, sunsets
at every bar.
Sunsets at sea, drinks at every bar, ship tours, movies in theaters.
It's all gonna happen. I hope.
I hope some of it happens. I hope
some of it.
happens.
Let's hope some of it happens.
And again, this list just proves why I love Disney.
Yeah.
Is that I don't think you could ever get to the point where you were like, I'm over everything. I've done it all too many times. And
No.
here's what I'll say. We're not there yet.
No, we're not.
Like, there's just so much to do, and it's all so great, and it's all so wonderful. Again, I don't even know that all of these things are happening right now because of COVID.
Right.
But whatever is happening,
If they are.
we're going to try to do.
Yeah.
So here's what you guys need to do. As you're watching our Disney cruise vlogs next month from our viewer cruise, I want you to have this list in your mind. And if there's ever a point where you see us like eating cake of the day or ordering cookies, I want you to be like, yes, check.
The bar tour.
The bar tour, check. That's exactly right. Just keep a mental note of the things from this list that we are checking off.
Yep.
On our viewer cruise vlogs. Friends, we love you guys, and I want to know down below, I know so many of you guys have cruised with Disney, and I want to know, do you have things that you love doing that when you get off the ship, it's like, I forgot to do that again?
Right.
I want to know what they are.
Yeah.
What are some things that we missed? What are some things that maybe should be on our list that maybe we've never done?
Yes.
Fill us in. Give us your Disney cruise pro tips that others may not know about.
Yeah.
We love having the inside scoop. Friends, we love you. We love you being a part of our community, following along on all of our adventures, and all the crazy things like watching Sherri trounce from bar to bar in the Disney Wonder. It's going to be a blast. We will see you guys on the next LeggLife video.